Hello and welcome to the Elsie B. Smith Show. My guest today is Ray Edwards, and our title is A Builder of Lives, Life as a Quadruple Amputee. Ray, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Ray, you became a quadruple amputee. That must have been a very traumatic event in your life. How did it all start?
Yeah, it was a terrible event. But I've got to take you back to 1981, when unfortunately I got Hodgkin's disease, which is cancer of the lymph glands. And in those days they removed your spleen as well as gave you chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Unfortunately, removing the spleen is quite a delicate situation because then you lose your immunity system. As a builder and construction guy, I was always in dirt, muck, you name it, and cutting your hand or doing things was quite a regular process. So eventually in 1981 I had the chemotherapy, radiotherapy and everything cleared, but remember I had no spleen. If we go forward a little bit, I was back into the building industry, and in 1987 when I had my own company, I cut my hand on one of the contracts in Addlestone, Surrey, and unfortunately the poison had got into the bloodstream, and that was late February 1987. By March the 13th, they had to remove my arms and legs because I got septicemia, gangrene set in, and I became a teddy bear overnight, and it was a shock to the system. And of course, my twins in those days were only 9 months old, so it was hell. It was hell.
It is mind-boggling. So you literally woke up and you had no arms and no legs. How do you even get going? How do you start again from that?
Well, I didn't know really about my legs going, actually, because the times I was conscious, I felt the arms going like wood. And also I'm wearing artificial limbs now, but, you know, it was like that. And, but I didn't know anything about my legs. And to wake up and knowing you've got no hands is one thing, but then being told by my dad that I had no legs, and that was 3 weeks later, they had to just put me on the strongest drug out because I was swearing, I hated myself, and I just wanted the clock to go back or switch me off because I didn't want to I could not cope, and I didn't know how to cope. And of course I was on drugs and I'd be there for some time, and that was keeping me alive, but really what I was going to do. A human being gone wrong, really, a teddy bear. Really.
Yeah. So that must have been a tremendous mindset to get out of.
I think you never get out of it very quickly. I think, you know, you heard of people saying you might go to Roehampton, might go to Stanmore, might go this, that. I didn't know anything about it. I mean, the time I remember about Amputee, I was watching a film as a kid called Reach for the Sky, where Douglas Bader, a famous English war hero, lost his legs, and that's all I knew about amputation. So me becoming a quad amputee, which is very rare, I didn't know what to do, but yeah, they probably would be rebuilding the body, but if the mind doesn't go with it, you're shocked. And I was just building a barrier around me. I hated everybody, I hated myself, so if I didn't like myself, there's no way I'm going to like anybody else. But I just wanted to understand what it was all about, and I did go to the chapel and ask for help. God certainly doesn't come down and hold your hand, but maybe in the chapel there might be a little bit of help. On a war situation, a soldier would always say, "Mum, can you help me?" Oh God. The door opened to the chapel. I was in a wheelchair, drips everywhere. I was so many tubes in me, I looked like a puppet. And the room was very, very warm because it had been snowing outside in March. But as soon as the door shut and the nurse left me, it went into a cold chill. And believe me, it was as if someone had come in and touched my shoulder. Now, I can remember that feeling when I had the cancer, but suddenly I've got it again in this chapel, and I thought, oh my gosh, what's going on? And, you know, the kidneys had failed as well, so really I just wanted to give up. I said, just die. I'd rather die. I don't want to give, I don't want anything. And the twins were in my mind thinking they needed their daddy. I wanted my wife, she didn't want me, or I didn't want her. It's just a nightmare. Fell asleep a bit, but I knew this guardian angel was with me and guiding me, and limb care came in my mind. I didn't know what that was all about, and suddenly I woke up, the heating came back on, and I went back to the chapel. 24 hours later the kidneys did come back, but they might not have been a medical miracle, it might have happened anyway. But I got a little bit better, but I had to survive for the twins. I didn't want to survive for myself because I hated myself. And that took a long time to cope with, years and years and years. Eventually I was transferred to Roehampton Hospital, and that was in late April. 1987.
And you were completely dependent on others, or from what I can gather, you did drive again at that time?
Well, you know, I mean, in the beginning, you were just a teddy bear in a wheelchair being pushed around and being fed and that, and quite honestly, any human being being fed and looked after, you might be a baby again. But as a human being at 32 years old and have your own building company grow, you cannot think of the sheer hell you were living in. So you have to rebuild your body and your mind together. Eventually they put my arms on and I learned to use an old computer, and dexterity became a little bit easier. I was given a powered wheelchair, and then you went and had your legs on, but I didn't like myself. And quite honestly, I just wanted to get out of this life. But, you know, I kept thinking, well, maybe I can walk out and see my children. And eventually I was allowed out of this unit, which was fantastic, on June the 4th, which was my twins' first birthday, which is pretty good, I think.
Goodness, yes, something to live for. But you did tell me on a previous occasion that you actually tried to kill yourself.
Yeah, but when you get home from that sort of traumatic situation, you're not the person you were. You know, I'm not the rave builder. I'm just really a person that's been put together and had no means of understanding why the mind isn't being rebuilt like the body. You go home and you find your bed downstairs, a commode next to it, and actually your life's tipped upside down, and you're not in charge of your destiny anymore. And people came in, no, so you can't even wipe your bottom properly, and it's just a hellhole. And unfortunately, I found solace in drink and hit the booze big time. And eventually, I thought I can't cope with this arguing all the time. And I hated myself, so I couldn't understand why. So I drove a car, which I eventually did learn to drive again, and drove it into a tree at about 80 miles an hour. But I survived. You survived.
You had to. There was some reason behind this. And your marriage ended, and you ended up alone.
Yes. We divorced, unfortunately. I don't blame anybody. I just blame the whole situation. I have guilt sometimes, but I just think, well, life is for living now. And I ended up in a flat in Edwards on my own, and it was quite tragic, really. But,
You must have been so angry about that, having everything and then having everything taken away, including your loved ones.
But anger is quite an easy word now to say, but you know, each your way, it's like another cancer, really, that you can't understand. And, I was so frustrated, and I just couldn't understand why it came into me. Why? But why me? Why? It could have been someone else. And I thought, well, I better take the brunt of it, and then I became a big boy and understood a little bit. But the big person I am now is through meeting a lovely lady called Fiona, who picked the pieces up in 1990, and we got married in 92. And, you know, life is so beautiful with her, really. It's great, but I couldn't, not do anything. I wanted to start a company that I was adapting homes, so I started building again. But unfortunately, I had a heart attack in 2005. So, oh my God, again, here we go. So it's
it doesn't stop.
I might be a cat, but my life's been reduced very quickly. And the cancer, the amputations, the kidney dialysis was tough. But the funny thing is, I worried more about the heart attack because the engine room was being played up. And I thought, my God, if I lose that, that's me finished. So eventually I stopped doing what I did and got rid of the company. And I eventually became a trustee of an association that looked after amputees in the United Kingdom in London, and Roehampton actually, and I worked for them as their CEO for a little while. And climbed Kilimanjaro, and that was a bit of a mess in 2010, where I and 4 other amputees plus a team eventually left there in October. We rose to the occasion, but I didn't get to the summit. I was very poorly, 500 metres below the summit. Rescued down, ill again in a clinic, think, oh, there we go again. Again, the guardian angel came through and picked me up. And when I flew back, I thought, oh, things are wrong. But prior to flying back, I had a radio conversation with my trustees, and they said, you may be redundant. I thought, oh my God. So I'm now trying to kill myself raising funds and raising awareness for amputees. And we did raise £86,000, and I thought, this is ridiculous. I didn't throw the toys out the pram. I got back, then formed Lincare, and now Lincare is a charity looking after amputees. So going back to the day when I went in that chapel That's what they were trying to say. Ray is the reason why you become a quad amputee.
Indeed, indeed.
And I do think very wisely. I'm a very lucky man to be alive, and I pleasure in living. I treasure every day. And thanks to my wife, we've got some lovely children now, and I've got 5 children and 4 grandchildren.
So yes, you've got 3 lovely grandchildren. You've got
Four.
Oh goodness, 4. That's beautiful. And you climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. You have received a citation from the Queen, the MBE.
I received the MBE in 2011. That was amazing because I don't go out and say please award me. Sometimes people pick up and I was sponsored or asked to someone said, right, I think you deserve it. So we wrote to certain hierarchy people, and yes, eventually got a letter saying, would you like to come to Windsor Castle on May the 6th, actually, in 2011. And yes, she awarded me Windsor Castle with an MBE, which was beautiful.
Indeed, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And you've also written a book. Tell me about that.
Yes, Ray Inspires. It's funny, really. Someone said, right, now you are what you are, and you seem to talk a lot. Why don't you put it down in writing? And your story is quite amazing. So, yes, we've written a book called Ray, and it's I'm Still Standing, and of course Elton John.
Yeah.
That lovely song. So maybe he will be able to sign it one day for me. But it's all to do with the story and how I became an amputee, and the deep part about life, and maybe the picking me up on the way. But it's a very lovely story.
And it's available on Amazon at 35 quid, which means it's getting very scarce, so you'd better get one.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going very well, actually. It was one of the top sellers a couple of years ago, so yeah, it's doing okay.
And do you have more books coming out?
I'm hoping to write a book called Inspire, and every one of those letters will become a chapter, just to show that what Ray is really like inside, what makes me tick. So it's something I'm working on at the moment. Believe me, sometimes when you're writing deeply, it does take it out on you, so it's going to take a long process, but hopefully it'll be a very good learning curve. So yeah, that's something I'm going to do.
Now, this incident where you lost your limbs happened in 1987, and you're one of the handful of people on the planet who should be traumatized by Friday the 13th, is it? And you've done a huge amount of work on building up your life again. You've got these, 4 artificial limbs. I should have told at the beginning how I met you. I went into a shopping center that I don't normally go to. And I saw this absolute bundle of energy outside the shopping center, organizing a charity collection. And I thought, wow, that's a lot of energy in one person. And I walked into the shop and I thought, something is not quite right. And I looked back and I saw the 2 prosthetic legs. So I thought, yes, that's what was not quite fitting into the picture. And I went in to do my shopping, came out and thought, I'd like to meet this man and hear his story. And only then did I notice that you have 2 prosthetic arms as well. So that has never put you off. You've got the movement, you've got the ability to do a lot of things that you wouldn't have been able to do without these prosthetic limbs.
It's how you are perceived, isn't it? I mean, in the early days, you want to cover yourself up and don't go out because staring is horrible, and we as human beings don't like being stared at.
You don't want to be different. Yeah.
Children are a great asset to us. They're great ambassadors. They come up to me and say, what happened? You tell them, and it's great. I mean, my story goes sometimes when they see me out of the swimming pool, I walk out and the water cascades out of the legs, and I say, how did this happen? Well, we go to this place very regularly in Lanzarote, and I said, well, years ago there was piranha in there and shark. I dived in and got them out. And so, they all laugh. But, I mean, I'm a bit of idiot, but it makes them talk, and so you become their hero. But grown-ups, adults, we are very much reserved, and I'd like to open that communication barrier up. And since 2012, the Paralympics has certainly opened our eyes to see amputees wearing their prosthetics as prosthetics rather than cosmetic limbs. And I feel that as a longest surviving quad amputee now, I've got the USP. I'm very proud of what I do. I have the empathy and the knowledge. And the team I have with Limb Care certainly helps amputees and their families all over the United Kingdom. We get calls from Africa, America, and everything like that. And, we've won the Queen's Award for Voluntary Services because we have so many volunteers helping us. And we rely on volunteers and dedicated people. and it's the most beautiful thing one can do to help another human being. And the letters of thanks is quite rewarding and better than money in the bank.
Mm-hmm. So, would you say that having all this, shall we say, well, artificial limbs and help from that, would you say that you are now completely recovered, that there's no more anger, there's no more depression, there's no more denial, none of that, those emotions that you normally go through with a huge loss?
If you help another human being, you're taking all their burdens on, and it helps you cope with your own. But inside, I've never been healed yet. It dawned on me 6 months ago, and we're now 2017. So from 1987 to 2017, I've never asked for help. So now I'm having counselling myself, which seems very weird, doesn't it, after all those years? But having said that, they have said that maybe you have got the PTSD. And I think having the counselling, I am pleased because I can't do it all, and I need help sometimes. Because if I'm not in a happy place, it's very hard for me to help other people. Although I enjoy it very much and I get a buzz out of it, I've had to sort of look at myself, and so I'm giving myself time to heal as well inside. And it's better because I'm not a grizzly bear sometimes. I don't want to be a grizzly bear. I'm more of a teddy bear, cuddly bear.
Yeah.
And it's helping, and I understand more what's going on with my psyche. I'm so proud to be alive, and I'm very, very happy with what I've done. You know, of all the years of building a house or construction, now I'm using that to rebuild lives, and which is a massive step towards creating something very special. And my legacy will be to leave something that can be used forever, which will be the Wellbeing Centre, which will be a halfway house bringing families and amputees and impaired in the building, because their trauma of becoming poorly, amputee or whatever, and then going home. As I told you, going home was hell for me.
Yeah.
Everyone has that journey. Let me hold their hand with a limb care banner, get them inside our building and try to help them. And then when they go out the double doors, they can say, thank you very much, life is worth living. And we will build that. We want £3 million to start with, but the Limb Care Wellbeing Centre will be launched this year. And it'll be the best thing I ever did in my life.
Absolutely. That would be building lives by building a building. You know, about 20 years ago, I broke a leg in 4 places. And the probably the most difficult thing for me was to say, I need help. Now, I want to ask you a question around that. What for you was the biggest hurdle, the biggest challenge to get over?
Liking myself again, really, because, you know, the dexterity of your hand is so important. So if I just lost my legs, I would have accepted it a little bit easier. Losing the arms as well, where it's your functioning part of your body. I really can't describe the words that I had, because I couldn't describe it. I'd lost. And of course, you do look like a teddy bear, you got no fingers, and trying to hold things, trying to cuddle things and that. But it's funny how the brain can mould itself around all the problems, and you function differently. Very proud of that. I've got the arterial hooks and the hand. I mean, this is a cosmetic hand that I just whack people with. They're in the way. This does a function. I have got my electric hands. I've got everything, all the modern stuff. But quite honestly, I'm old-fashioned, and if this works, you know, that's it. And, yeah, I drive. Drive a very nice car. I swim every day. I function as a human being. I get dressed a lot on my own, but when I do wear suits and that, my wife helps me. My wife, Fiona, is my best friend, and she's lovely. And not that she's soft with me. I mean, she's quite a good person to get off your backside and sort yourself out. But you need that type of thing. So behind every strong man, there's certainly a stronger woman.
I can just imagine.
And yeah, I'm very, very lucky. Very lucky. Very humble. Actually.
So this whole thing must have had a huge impact on your loved ones.
Well, yes, my mum and dad, really. You know, that was tough, really. Mum's alive now, still. Dad passed away in 1999. He was my mentor, and still around there in my mind. But my mum is there. She's 91, and love her dearly. She's in junior water on her own. She's strong, a very good character, still healthy. So my stock is pretty good. I come from a very good stock. Yeah, and then of course the children are only young, so they see me grow up. They see me as I am, really. So all my kids, grandchildren know me as, the blind man, really.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they love it.
Well, they do.
They love the
container and everything. So yeah.
They must love the container as well as what's inside.
Yeah.
So, in terms of your future goals, or first before I ask that, how big is your membership?
We don't have a membership. We don't charge anything for Lincare. I mean, we help thousands and thousands of people every year. So you could say from 1,000 to 20,000. There's 100,000 amputees in the United Kingdom which are registered, of which there's 10,000 every year through diabetes, and are increasing as well. So we're here offering help, support, communication, and the best way to communicate about the problem is to get another amputee talking to a new amputee and guide them through that journey. Listening, we're a good listener. We certainly inform people. We have good information leaflets. We visit schools. I mean, schools is another thing where I'm launching the Prickle team, which are little hedgehogs that have all been copyrighted that have difficulties in their life, might have lost one of their limbs. And they are a team that depict disability in a lovely way for children. So between the ages of 4 and 7, we're going to hope to use that in schools and education. So Lincare Youth is being launched as well. So we've got a lot to do.
Wow. And if people want to get hold of you for either to get information or to give donations or to help you in any way, where would they do that?
Well, if they go on the website, which is www.lincare.org, and then they can see the donate button, or they can always phone us on 0800 052 1174, or even talk to me, ray@lincare.org. But we're here to help. My team are 24/7 if they can. But we will always answer questions and always get back to you.
And you're based only in the UK?
We are a UK charity, but we do get connections from many, many other charities in the world, because there are other amputees that need help. I mean, the recycling part helps them, because we do get wasted limbs in the UK, and we can send them off to Africa, Romania, Tanzania, anywhere. But we have to work with other charities because the cost of shipping is hard. But we pick up 200-300 limbs a year. Wheelchairs and that type of thing, because it's a throwaway society in the United Kingdom, and we've got to stop that.
Yeah.
So it's another ball game really, but we're only good as the team we have, and if anyone would like to volunteer to help us, I'd love that. We're based in Farnborough, Hampshire. We certainly need marketing and fundraising experts who are retired who want to come and help us.
Ray, this has been really inspiring, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of response to this. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And I'll see you again next Sunday, same place, same time, 4 o'clock. Thank you and goodbye.